The raven's shadow. The fog clung to London like a shroud, muffling the clanging bells of St. Paul's and swallowing the gaslight's feeble glow. Inspector Davies, his coat collar pulled high against the damp chill, stood on the cobblestones. A grimace etched on his weathered face. A body lay before him, sprawled on the slick stones, a young woman with hair like spun gold, now matted with blood. A single raven perched on a nearby lamppost, its obsidian eyes gleaming in the dim light. It was the third victim this month, each found with a single raven feather clutched in their hand. The press had dubbed him the Raven's Shadow, and fear, like the fog, was seeping into the very bones of the city. 6. The raven's silence. The fog began to dissipate as dawn crept over the city. The ravens, those harbingers of death, had flown, their guttural cries replaced by the chirping of sparrows. Davies stood over the Thames, watching the murky water flow towards the sea, carrying with it the darkness that had gripped London. The city was scarred, but it would heal. The clock had stopped, and the raven's shadow was no more, leaving behind only a whisper of fear and the echo of flapping wings in the morning mist. In 26, the raven speaks, E.G. Davies, a man who prided himself on logic and deduction, found himself drawn into the dark labyrinth of the killer's mind. He spent hours poring over the meager clues, the feather, the cryptic symbols carved into the victim's hands, the whispered rumors of a raven-masked figure seen flitting through the fog. He interviewed witnesses, chased phantoms down foggy alleys, and felt the case closing in on him, suffocating him like the thick London air. He sought answers in dusty tomes on folklore and ancient legends, hoping to decipher the symbolism, to understand the language of the raven. The Clockmaker's secret scene. A breakthrough came in the form of a forgotten shop on a forgotten street. The workshop of a blind clockmaker known only as Old Silas. Silas, his milky eyes seeming to see more than most, spoke of ravens as messengers from the other side. He spoke of an old rhyme, a children's rhyme, about a raven and a clock, a rhyme that held a chilling truth within its innocent verses. The clock was ticking. Silas whispered, and the raven's shadow would strike again before the final chime. In 4 ties. The Masquerade. The clockmaker's words echoed in Davies' mind as he navigated the swirling crowds of a grand masquerade ball. He knew the raven's shadow would be here, hidden amongst the masked revelers, a predator stalking its prey. The air hung thick with perfume and anticipation, a dangerous cocktail. Davies, disguised beneath a simple domino mask, felt the weight of the city's fear on his shoulders, the clock ticking down to midnight. The shadow unmasked. As the clock chimed 12 times, a scream ripped through the revelry. A struggle, a flash of steel, and another life extinguished. But Davies was ready. He moved with a swiftness belied by his age, tackling the masked figure before it could disappear into the throng. The mask fell away, revealing a face etched with madness, a face Davies knew well. A respected doctor, driven to the brink by personal tragedy, seeking his own twisted form of justice.